So today we're talking about stress and stress relief. Unfortunately, most of us experience stress from time to time. Some of us more than others. I'm gonna raise my hand, that's me. Even if there are not actual stressors or really, really bad things happening in your life, we often are doing things that we don't necessarily need to be doing that tax our bodies, that tax our minds, that just tax our energy system. So I want to share a few little easy tricks that I do. You can call them hacks because that's like a cool word these days, but they're just stress relieving tips. And now the important thing is, if you're going to do something that's like a stress relieving thing that you do it every day, because this sort of thing is cumulative. If we have a routine every day of doing whatever it is that we find relieves our stress, we are less likely to experience big moments of stress in the long term. So it will keep us in a nice state of easy relaxation for the most part, because obviously, shit happens in real life and all that stuff. So my first tip is, you're not gonna like this one, limit cell phone use. Okay, especially in your bedroom and before you go to bed. I am the worst. I feel like such a fraud for saying this, but I'm gonna be better at it this year. Especially social media. Okay, so it's two things. Social media, for one, stimulates our brains, and it also can get us kind of down sometimes. I mean, unless you're following a bunch of really positive people, you can often find that you get a little comparisonitis, I guess you could call it, when you are seeing someone's amazing vacation, or their beautiful wedding, or their perfect boyfriend, or their adorable dog. We are training our brains to compare ourselves to others a lot more often these days than we ever have in the past. So limiting the time that you spend on your phone, limiting the time that you spend on social media, and maybe not using your phone like right before bed or right when you get up. I am very guilty of that, but it is really important for your stress. The next thing is pretty obvious: exercise and yoga, because endorphins, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. We all know this. We all feel better physically and mentally and emotionally when we move our body, and it doesn't have to be something crazy. You don't have to go run a marathon. You don't have to go to the gym for an hour and a half. You can take a 15-minute yoga class on YouTube. You can do a few jumping jacks and squats, just getting your blood flowing, even if you have 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll have 5 minutes and I put a timer on my phone, or I'll put on like 2 songs, and I'll limit myself, 2 songs, and that's it. And you just go really hardcore for those 5 or 10 minutes. The next tip is establishing really consistent morning and evening routines. And this is kind of going back to what I talked about before with stress management being cumulative. It's really important if we do the same things every day to manage our stress, and not just when we are stressed out. So a good morning routine might include some exercise. It might include some meditation, journaling, reading, taking a walk, something that makes you happy, playing with your dog, staying away from the news, staying away from Facebook, all those sorts of things. The next thing is your sleep hygiene. So what is your sleep hygiene like? Do you go to bed really late? Do you drink coffee in the afternoon? Do you watch TV until you fall asleep? Is your room loud and bright with the TV on? What is your sleep environment like? Is it conducive to falling asleep? When we are sleeping, we are able to repair a lot of what's gone on in our day, in our bodies, and in our minds. So it's so important that you get really good sleep and really restful sleep, because you can sleep for a long time. You can get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep and still wake up feeling tired and not rested. So you want to be getting quality sleep. And the last thing, and I think this is probably the most important thing, that if you're really committed to a stress reduction practice, to do meditation or a breathing practice every day. Now, we all know what meditation is. You kind of sit there and you close your eyes and you try to turn your mind off, right? No, don't try to turn your mind off. I mean, you can try, but it's probably not going to be too enjoyable, and then you're gonna quit, and then you're gonna say, I hate meditation, and that's not fun. So, one of the things that I like to do is I like guided meditations. I have a free app on my phone that I can just pick guided meditations based on how much time I have or based on what type of meditation I want, whether I'm gonna fall asleep or whether it's the morning. So guided meditations are really good, especially for beginners who can't seem to shut their minds off, because let's face it, it's really hard to shut our minds off. You have to be like a monk ninja who's been doing this for decades. And even then, I don't know if they can shut their minds off 100%. I hope that helps. Those are my tips, or my hacks as you may want to call it, for simple stress relief, and I will see you in the next video.